Mike Moore Media.
Welcome to Community Treasures, Hidden Gems around Rockingham County. We certainly appreciate Mike Moore Media and hosting us today in these wonderful studios, and look forward to discovering another hidden gem here in Rockingham County. The people in Rockingham County are phenomenal in all of the different things that they do, and I especially enjoy hearing and finding out about people and what they do, especially in community service areas. And one of those people that's been a friend of mine for several years has been Rosetta Badgett. Reverend Badgett is the Associate Minister of Jesuralem United Holy Church, and she does a lot of other things as well. So Rosetta, if you don't mind, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family and maybe a couple of the other things that you do.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I am Rosetta Badgett, and I've been a member of Jerusalem United Holy Church basically all my life. I have 4 children, and I have a new grandbaby that I'm very proud of. I just enjoy things in the community. Wherever I can help, that's where I want to be. And I do participate in a lot of things in our city. For example, I am a part of the United Ministers of Reidsville and vicinity. I'm a gardener at Litem in the program, which is we work with dependent children that's in court proceedings. This November, that'll be 24 years working with that program. And that's just wonderful because you get a chance to help children, that's in a bad way. And I'm volunteer for the Reidsville High School for several years, or was volunteer of the year for several years. And I was a charter member there for the Community and Schools program at the Reidsville High School. Okay, and getting involved with the community is just my life. And I'm just thankful that I have the opportunity to do that.
Well, we appreciate all the different things that you do. I know that at one time, you and my wife both worked with a jail ministry here in Rockingham County,
mm-hmm.
and just a lot of other things. And you're the co-moderator, in fact, of the United Ministers group, and I know that you were a big help to me when I was the moderator of that. And so we just again developed a great relationship over the years, and I appreciate. Again, your willingness, it's pretty busy sometimes, and yet you seem to always find the time that it takes to get the ball rolling in a lot of these areas. You mentioned your...
Well, I really appreciate that, working with you, and Marty is a jewel. But, yes, we have worked together for a long time, and
sure.
It's just like we just worked off each other,
That's true.
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
That's great. And I'm sure we'll continue to do that.
I hope so.
So look out Rockingham County, all right?
All right.
One of the things you mentioned was your work with the Guardian ad litem, and I'd like to spend just a little extra time on that this morning if we can. And you said you've been doing that for 24 years?
November the 19th this year.
Wow. Tell me a little bit more about what Guardian ad litem is. That's a term, of course, I would not be familiar with, and maybe some of our listeners would be interested to know a little more about it, and then, of course, we're going to finish up with how they can be involved. But right now, let's talk about some of the things that involves with the children.
Well, actually, it's a program that's statewide in North Carolina and in other states as well. And actually, what the base of it is that there are children that are dependent, neglected, and abused. Okay, and this program protects them. If there is a notice or whatever that something is going on with the child, and always when I express this, I use just a simple example. For example, if the neighbor sees a child maybe eating out of the trash can, I mean, that's a little powerful. Mm-hmm. And that gets reported to social services. Well, then the Guardian ad litem program gets involved. The child is taken out of the home and put in temporary foster care. And then that starts the whole program going toward protecting the child. And there is someone that's appointed to the child, like myself, and we stay with the child. Everything concerning the child, we notate it, and we are the voice of the child in the courtroom.
Oh wow!
And yes, that's what the guardian ad litem is, the voice of the child in the courtroom. And everything that's concerning the child. Now, there is a social work involved because, as I said, social services already got in as far as information going to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the guardian ad litem is the voice of the child in the courtroom. And I'm going to say it's worldwide. I know it's in many states, not
mm-hmm.
just North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. So
and
it's kind of like...
We protect the child.
Is it kind of like an extra layer of protection for the child? In other words, maybe you could do something that a social worker couldn't do, or even maybe an attorney could not do?
Well, all of those people are involved in the whole process.
Right.
We have different functions, so to speak,
I
and
see.
then we come together, to make the best decision for the child.
I see.
So although my area may be this and the social worker may be something else or whatever, but we all come together. At the bottom line is that we all come together for the safety and the well-being of that child.
I see. And what ages of children are there? Are they all minors? Are there 18-year-olds?
It's up to 18.
Up to 18?
18, you sort of age out of the program because basically you're an adult.
I see. So about how many do you think you have helped over these 24 years?
Oh, I don't know. Probably hundreds. I've had as many as 13 at one time.
13? Wow.
At one time.
That's amazing. And so, I mean, I guess that's a lot of time in court, too, because does it all, I guess maybe the question is, does it always go to a court where you'd have to be a part of a hearing or something?
Well, it may not go to court if for example, once the process gets started and maybe the parents would relinquish their rights.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen likely often. And what's sad about that is that you're not taking care of your child, but then you have all this resistance and everything about the court or the system trying to take care of your child.
Sure.
I've never understood that.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. But, the program is set up to where the child comes first.
Good.
I've actually told the mother, I don't care about you. I'm concerned about your child.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was not for you, your child would not even be in the system. So you don't matter to me. It's the child that's suffering.
So sometimes there has to be some tough love in there.
Well, not necessarily tough love where the child is concerned.
Right.
It's just putting these parents that has abused, neglected
Sure.
their children. Therefore, they're in the system.
Right.
Well, then they're there because of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you don't come up with a whole lot of things concerning you because it's not about you.
I got you.
At this point, it's totally about the child and the welfare of that child.
Well, that must take some special wisdom and insight on your part to be able to see through some of those things and still keep that child first in the process and all of the things that need to go on with that. I guess, is there a way to know an average age of children that you're working with, or is it a wide range?
Well, it's a wide range because, you just never know.
Right.
When reports come in and then social services gets involved, and then the children becomes, and I don't like to say this, but the children become a product of the system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's no other way to say it.
Sure.
And then once that happens, then, this process starts. It gets on its way as far as what's best for the child and, what needs to be done. What is the final outcome for this child?
Sure. About how
You're
long...
working toward the goal, you're working toward the goal of what's best for the child, not just now, but, in the future, because they are children. They cannot take care of themselves. And one thing I say a lot of times, and I'll continue to say it, they didn't even ask to be born.
Of course. Of course.
So, for them to have to go through the things that they, beatings and all kinds of things, it's just terrible.
Yeah, you see the whole other side of that, do you not? Wow.
Yes, I do. And I say this, I've had the opportunity to more or less train others that come into the program, and I tell them, if this is really what you want to do, there are 3 things you're going to do. You're going to get mad a lot because of what's happening to the children. You're going to cry a lot because of what's happening to the children, and you're going to pray a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If in my opinion, if those 3 things don't take place, then you shouldn't be doing this.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. About how many guardian ad litems are there in Rockingham County? Do you know?
I don't know about Rockingham County.
Oh.
Or the state. Well, I think it's like maybe close to maybe 100.
Oh,
it may not be that many now.
Uh-huh.
It may not be that many now.
Wow.
At one time it was.
I see. And it's hard for me to understand, I guess, that there's that much difficulty in some of our homes and that much trauma, I guess, for children in our community. We just kind of sometimes don't have an idea. And I'm really thankful for people like you, Rosetta, that are able to step in and step up and take care of the need that is there for these children. That's truly remarkable. As long as I've known you, I didn't know some of these details. So I appreciate you being able to come and help us understand some of these things. And boy, it just adds a new respect for what you do in our community in so many different areas. And I certainly appreciate that. Of course, I'm pretty sure that it's a volunteer position. And so I know that the time that you spend with that is just invaluable, not only to the community, but to these children. And so I want to say thank you for what you do and appreciate that so much. Thank you for being with us today. And maybe another time we can talk about something else, Rosetta. Again, I thank you.
Maybe.
It's exciting to see the way that you're a part of our community. So we appreciate it. Again, I want to just thank Mike Moore Media and the good work that he does all across our community. Maybe one of these days we need to have that conversation with Mike and some of the things that he does. But again, we're just trying to uncover community treasures and hidden gems in our county, and people like Rosetta Badgett are those people. So again, thank you, Mike Moore at Media, and you all have a great day.